What's up, folks? Anthony here, Special Analysis. Welcome to the video. We're going to take a quick recap here on the four markets that we trade live every morning. I'm going to just start with what was absolutely awful, and that was the indices. I mean, just take a look here at the NASDAQ. This is 8 o'clock. We're rolling into the closing bell here in about 25 minutes. I mean, unless you are a proficient scalper and you're willing to trade inside this mess, which I am not, that's kind of what the hand you got dealt here. So with that statement being made, like, this really kind of sucked. Pardon my language. I just don't. This is not a very a day that really offers some congruency in multiple time frames. If you look at the higher time frame MACD, like, it's in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. It's just awful. It's just awful. So to me, again, the NASDAQ here, unless you're a very proficient short-term kind of scalper, aggressive scalper, I don't really like it. Same thing here with the S&P. While the S&P did kind of float lower here, you could have tried to short the VWAP here. I don't know. It's, again, not very congruent. It did take a drop through this low here, fell pretty aggressively. Again, this is not, the indices did not set up clean today, right? There was no economic news. 10 a.m. we got, housing data, but the markets didn't trend well. Whereas the commodities were definitely better. I liked crude at 2 spots. Support here at this pivot. All right, we established that uptrend really nicely. We come back in, we hold this pivot as support. I mean, this could have been a very low risk buy at the pivot. Drop your tick, your stop 5 or 10 ticks below, and just hold it and see how it does. Take profit here at this first resistance level. Move your stop to break even, and then just see if it carried out the balance of the day. The market trending nicely, and this is really the gap here from 77.25 to 77.80. This was kind of the first spot that really provided a nice level of support to either buy at the support or buy at the pullback or buy at a little consolidation here. So I like this even more than I kind of like that. And just taking a push here into 77.80 and then taking a little more profit here at 78 round. I always take profit at round numbers, high area liquidity. So those are kind of the two places that I like for crude. So that's kind of what we got, Gold, last but not least, of course, we take this dip out early this morning and we consolidate, right? Like, we pull back, we establish resistance. The first thing I look for in an uptrend is support. The first thing I look for in a downtrend is resistance when I'm trend trading. So we do establish that downtrend pretty nicely. We got our fast moving averages synced up, 2 time frame MACDs under pressure, plenty of selling volume, present coming into this move. So here's the pullback. Here's what I would consider the consolidation area. You could have either shorted here at the close of this pullback candle, or shorted here as we kind of fell back out and taking your profit down here at the prior day low, or prior day open. So this could have given you a nice little, hit for gold to the downside, somewhere in this area, about 43 ticks roughly. So again, that's kind of all we got. The commodities gave some multiple time frame opportunities to the downside here on gold, and to the upside here on crude. If you're a pullback trader, if you're comfortable at buying at support, then this was probably the spot for you. If you're more of a trend trader and you want to kind of buy into the momentum, then this was probably the better setup for you. So those are the two things, guys, that shaped up today. So when the market is like this, right, when the market isn't giving you exactly what you're asking for, exactly what your expectations are, whatever checks your checklist or your trade plan, you have to be patient. Days like today are most common when newer traders or undisciplined traders overtrade, and when they do that, they end up eating their account, right? Then they come in tomorrow with this screwed up head like, man, I just totally destroyed my account yesterday. I'm going to be very uncertain about what I'm doing today. So I encourage you, if you're not meeting your trade plan, your checklist, what makes you feel comfortable, and that you have that warm, fuzzy feeling when you hit the buy or sell button, then there are more oftentimes days that go by that are better to just simply not trade. Right? You get paid to wait. Watch the market, study the market, make notes. You're still gaining experience sitting in front of the screen watching the live market. And there's no shame in doing that, right? There's lots of days that go by I don't place a trade. Sometimes I only place 2 or 3 trades a week, because that's what the market gives me that makes me feel comfortable. So I encourage you guys, make sure you're taking your time, being patient, watching the market, sitting back, waiting for your checklist to align, your trade plan to align, taking that trade with consistency and discipline, and making sure that you're doing the right thing. Okay? I know it's hard. You got to sit in front of the computer and wait and wait and wait and wait. That's part of the deal. You get paid to wait, right? You get paid to wait. As a day trader, you get paid to wait. Paid to wait for what meets your trade criteria. I focus on the lower risk trend favoring moves for my clients because those are the easier ones to identify. They feel more comfortable trading with the trend as opposing to try to, counter trend trade and things of that nature. We look for pullbacks that are favoring 2 time frames, or we look for, momentum that's favoring 2 time frames. And that's what we had here for crude, both at about 10:15 and again around 12:30. And inversely to the downside on gold, we had that same momentum, 2 time frames, going to the downside here around 9:15 on gold. The indices didn't give us that opportunity. So when that opportunity is not presented, guess what? Just leave them alone. It's better to be safe, preserve your capital, so when the right trade comes along, A, you're confident and prepared to take the trade, and B, you have the margin in your account to take the trade as well. So if you found this video informational, if you learned something from it, if you're enjoying the content I'm putting out, I just simply ask you to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It helps me help more traders, okay? You want to trade with me, you want to buy software from me, you want to buy products and services from me, wonderful. If you don't, that's wonderful too, okay? I'm not here to sell you something. I'm here to hopefully teach you something. If you decide that you want to trade with me, if you decide you want to work with any of my services or software, phenomenal. I'd be more than happy to help you get those things in your hands and access to them. But that's not what this is for. This is for helping folks. So God bless, guys. I'll see you in the next video.